It was just past 7 a.m. over the calm waters of the Caribbean Sea. The morning sun cut through a thin veil of mist, painting the horizon gold. Cargo ships drifted slowly across the distance, their hulls glinting in the sunlight, unaware that high above them, a covert military operation was about to begin, one that would soon send shockwaves through diplomatic circles across the world. At exactly 7:15 a.m., coastal radar stations in Venezuela detected several unidentified aerial objects moving at low altitude from the north. Initially, operators dismissed the signals as weather anomalies or civilian drones, but the data patterns soon told a different story. High-speed movement, tight formation, and perfect synchronization. These were not ordinary drones. They were precision attack drones, flying in triangular formation barely 200 meters above sea level, designed for surgical strikes on mid-sized vessels. By 7:30 a.m., the radar screens began to flicker. One by one, the unknown signals vanished. The Venezuelan operators thought their systems had malfunctioned. In truth, the drones had activated electronic stealth mode, rendering themselves invisible to local radar. Beneath them, the ocean shimmered quietly. Their target was already in sight, a massive vessel known as La Sombra, a ship long suspected of belonging to one of Venezuela's most powerful smuggling cartels. It was loaded with illegal fuel, weapon shipments, and untraceable cargo that had caught the attention of multiple intelligence agencies worldwide. At 7:45 a.m., the first drone launched its attack. From just 150 meters up, it fired a laser-guided missile directly onto the ship's main deck. The explosion was deafening. A flash of fire burst skyward, followed by a cloud of thick black smoke. The deck erupted into chaos as flames consumed the hull. Crew members scrambled for safety, but within seconds, the vessel was engulfed. Two other drones circled the site in wide arcs, monitoring and ensuring there were no escort ships nearby. By 8 a.m., a second explosion rocked the sea, this time at the rear of the ship where the fuel reserves were stored. The shockwave rippled across the waves, reaching small fishing villages near the Venezuelan coast. Locals at sea thought it was an underwater earthquake until they saw the column of smoke rising in the distance. In the Venezuelan Military Command Center, officers raced to identify the source of the blast. But no one expected that Russia, an ally and long-standing partner, was behind the attack. At 8:30 a.m., local media began receiving reports from fishermen. Amateur videos surfaced online, showing the burning ship and what appeared to be unmanned aerial vehicles hovering above it, their red navigation lights flickering. On social media, confusion erupted. Some claimed it was a U.S. drone strike. Others speculated it was a Russian operation against a rogue cartel that had violated secret agreements. By 9:15 a.m., the remaining drones turned east and disappeared from the radar. The entire strike had lasted less than an hour, yet the destruction was absolute. La Sombra was sinking, slowly consumed by fire. Its massive cargo spilled into the sea, oil, debris, and twisted metal floating across the turquoise waters. By 10 a.m., Venezuelan rescue ships reached the area. What they found were fragments, burning containers, shattered steel beams, and bodies drifting among the wreckage. There were no signs of missiles from aircraft or warships, no sonic booms, just precision drone fire. Experts would later call it one of the cleanest, most efficient single-target drone operations ever conducted in modern warfare. By noon, the story had gone global. News outlets across Europe and America broke the headline. Russian military drones allegedly strike Venezuelan smuggling ship in Caribbean waters. The Russian Ministry of Defense gave no immediate comment, but anonymous sources from Moscow confirmed that it was a targeted maritime countercrime operation meant to neutralize illegal networks threatening Russian trade routes. Analysts quickly began to piece together the message behind it. Russia had flexed its technological muscles, not with aircraft carriers or warships, but with a silent surgical strike. At 1 p.m., the Venezuelan president called an emergency meeting with his Security Council. In an official statement, he condemned the attack as a direct violation of Venezuelan sovereignty. Yet inside the room, intelligence officials quietly acknowledged that La Sombra had long been under surveillance for trafficking arms and fuel to rogue groups in the Caribbean. The government found itself in a political dilemma: defend national sovereignty or admit that the destroyed vessel belonged to one of the most dangerous cartels in South America. At 3 p.m., defense analysts in Europe released their early reports. Based on footage, explosion patterns, and debris, the drones were identified as modified Russian Orion strike UAVs, capable of 24-hour flight endurance and precision targeting. These drones had been upgraded with maritime radar and anti-ship micro-missiles, making them perfect for long-range oceanic missions. The operation's efficiency stunned the world. 3 drones, 2 missiles, 1 target destroyed, 0 Russian casualties. In Moscow, at 5 p.m. local time, the Russian Defense Ministry finally released a short statement. A security operation was carried out in international waters to neutralize armed criminal activity threatening Russian commercial interests in the Caribbean region. That sentence alone was enough to ignite a diplomatic firestorm. Venezuela denounced the action as unilateral aggression, but many observers argued that Russia's true motive went deeper. It wanted to send a message not only to Latin America's criminal networks, but also to Western powers watching closely. As night fell, television screens across the globe replayed the explosion footage over and over again. In Caracas, citizens gathered outside state news offices demanding answers. "Who was really attacked?" shouted one protester. "Was it our enemies or our friends?" International reactions were divided. Some praised Russia's precision and resolve in taking down a major cartel vessel without escalation. Others warned that this could set a dangerous precedent. State militaries carrying out covert drone strikes on foreign waters without permission. Within 24 hours, satellite images confirmed that the shipwreck site still emitted plumes of smoke. Oil slicks stretched for miles, creating environmental concerns along the Venezuelan coast. Patrol ships guarded the zone, while rumors spread that Russian vessels had briefly entered the area before disappearing again. Investigations revealed that La Sombra was no ordinary ship. It had previously been tracked carrying unregistered weapons to militant groups in West Africa, a connection that gave credibility to the Russian intelligence justification. What looked like an act of aggression began to appear as part of a calculated, globally coordinated effort to dismantle transnational arms routes. By the next day, headlines around the world described the strike as Russia's boldest drone operation outside Europe. Experts debated its purpose. Some saw it as a live test of Russia's next-generation long-range UAV systems. Others believed it was a geopolitical signal, proof that Russia could enforce its will across oceans using technology alone. In Venezuela, however, the impact was immediate and painful. The destruction of La Sombra crippled one of the country's most profitable underground trade networks. At the same time, it exposed uncomfortable truths: the government's inability to control its waters and the extent to which criminal cartels had infiltrated maritime trade. Once allies, Venezuela and Russia now found themselves standing on opposite sides of a diplomatic rift. As tensions rose, military patrols increased along the Venezuelan coast. Rumors circulated that more Russian drones had been seen patrolling the Caribbean. The government promised to strengthen coastal defenses, but privately, intelligence officers admitted that detecting high-speed stealth drones over open water would be almost impossible. By the weekend, the Caribbean Sea was still littered with fragments of the destroyed ship. Beneath the waves, the remains of La Sombra had already begun to sink into the depths, an eerie reminder of how quickly politics and alliances can shift in a world driven by power and secrecy. The morning strike that began at 7 a.m. had become more than a tactical event. It was a geopolitical message. With minimal force and maximum precision, Russia had demonstrated the new face of warfare: silent, invisible, and executed from afar. The world watched with unease. The Caribbean, once a symbol of trade and tourism, now stood as a testing ground for the future of drone warfare. And as the sun set on that fateful day, one thing was clear: no nation, no ocean, and no criminal empire was truly beyond reach.